Let's start waking up the legs. Begin bouncing your feet. Let your heels gently bounce the floor. Get a sense of springiness through the legs and the muscles in the feet. Let your arms shake. We're just starting to get the energy moving through the whole body. Now we're going to shake one leg. This does require some balance, so if you need to, hold on to something. Put your hand on the wall or a chair. Let your leg get really loose, really shaky. The foot is floppy and soft. Think about disentangling the muscles and the tissues that are up in your hip and your thigh. Switch legs. If you want to, you can bounce both legs. You can even get a little sort of jumping motion. Let your hands shake if you want. Just make sure your legs and feet get really soft so we get a good flow of energy through the legs. Step your feet a little wider and just begin loosening up your joints. Swaying side to side, the ankles, the knees, the hips, all starting to bend and flow. Imagine that you're moving through water. Notice how the spine stays relatively straight. Try to avoid bending forward at your waist. Really try to keep your spine straight up and down. Might mean that you feel like you're tucking your pelvis a little bit. Keep the weight through the center of your heels as you shift your weight side to side, encouraging smooth flow. Now a little wider still. We're going to start opening up the deep hip muscles. Come down to what's called horse stance. It means you're going to bend your knees. Now your feet are not going to point too far out to the side. They may point straight ahead. They may point a little out from there, but we're not fully turned out. We're just trying to loosen and open the hips. Again, the spine remains straight. Flex your palms and feel a gentle stretch all the way into your fingertips. Now turn your palms up and turn to the side. Notice the spine is still up and down. We're not leaning forward. Drive this spiral from your leg all the way up through the crown of your head and only turn as far as your body feels comfortable. Drive the turn with the back leg. Spin yourself around. When you are turned, press the outer edge of the back heel down and try to straighten the leg. Now, we're going to bring your hands behind your head. Step one foot back behind you. Again, feel like your spine is right between the two legs, straight up and down. Keep the front knee over the front ankle, and the back heel goes up and down. Press through the toes of the back foot, stretching the toes, working and stretching the calf muscle. Now we're going to lower the knee down and bring it back up. Listen, this is a hard one, so if you can't bring your knee all the way down, that's fine. Just focus on keeping your body straight. Lower your knee as much as you can. A little tip is you can put a pillow or a blanket, something under that back knee, so you have somewhere to put your knee when you lower it down. Give your attention to having a straight line from the head to the knee as you drop your knee down. Always take a moment to find your center before you begin the other side. We want to start with a sense of symmetry. Step the other foot back, line up your spine, prepare that front leg, and start stretching the back foot. Feel the heel stretch away. When you lift the heel, pull it up towards your sit bone, up towards the top of your head. So you're really working the back of that leg. Straighten up, prepare, get those glutes and hamstrings fired up, and lower the knee down and up. Think about a straight line from the top of the head through the center of the knee while you lower. Again, this is a balance challenge, so if you do need to put your hand on a chair or on the wall, that's fine. Safety first, don't forget. And these are hard. Just work your way through, do as many as you can, and keep breathing. Bring your feet back together, find your symmetry. Now we're going to line the feet up just a little bit wider than your sitting bones and lift your arms up. We're going to squat down and stand up. Then come up onto the toes and back to the heels. Make sure when you bend that you're sitting like you're sitting in a chair. Feel like the weight stays in the bullseye center of your heel while you lower down. Push back through your arms as you come up onto your toes. these are hard. Just keep moving through and do as many as you can. All the while, we're engaging our core muscles. Think of pulling your navel towards your back and lifting your belly in and up. We're going to stay and hold. See if you can do it. And then we're going to come up onto the toes. We're going to do some arm circles here. This is a balance challenge for sure. Keep weight on the ball of the big toe. Circle your arms, working the upper back and the backs of your arms. Okay, we're going to have a seat. So from here, you want to make sure that you're sitting up on your sit bones. We're going to round forward and sit up. And let me show you here. If you need to sit on something, that's fine. If you're stuck rounded back and you can't sit all the way up, then you're going to be collapsing your chest. We want to avoid that. So find a position in which you can sit up straight. Then you stretch your spine forward. You curl your spine, round it, stretch forward and up. In Qigong, this is the turtle goes into the shell, become the shell. The turtle looks up out of the water. Exhaling as you curl, inhaling as you come back up. We're opening up the hip joints and we're loosening up the low back. Just a few times, waking up the spine. Allow your breath to motivate your movement. Now curl the pelvis back. Think of creating a hollow bowl in the belly rather than rounding your shoulders and chest. And then lift the arms to give a little more challenge. Bring them back down. Swim through the air to come forward. Give yourself a gentle stretch. And then roll back up to do it again. Again, curl the pelvis back. Create a deep bowl, hollow. As the arms come up, they come back down. Swim through the air. Stretch forward. Relax your spine. Exhaling as you curl back, lift the arms, inhale, and exhale back down. Give it a gentle stretch. And now we're going to lie down onto your back. Take a moment to settle into this new position in the body, then lift the hips up into a bridge. We're going to do some small pulses here, opening up the front of the hip. Imagine that you're trying to pull the navel to the back and open the space between the thigh muscle and the abdomen. Press down through your feet, making footprints in the ground. Small pulses, lifting and opening the hips. Check that your feet are parallel and that you have even weight through the whole foot. Pulsing upwards, and then rolling the spine back down. Now open your feet to a frog position. This is a frog bridge, and I like to bring the arms here into a goalpost or W on the floor to keep the chest open. The outer edges of the feet are on the ground. The knees and the toes are pointing out towards the sides, making a V shape with the feet and with the knees. This works a different part of the hip than a parallel bridge. Now give your right knee a hug, stretch your left leg out onto the floor. Now strongly press that left leg into the ground. Stretch it long, press the heel, the calf, the thigh, and then lift it up and bring it down. Inhaling up, exhaling down. All the while we're hugging that right leg into the abdomen. Point the toe, hover that leg over the floor, take it away from the midline, and then back in. Inhale away, exhale back in. I'm keeping the knee pointing up to the ceiling during that motion. Now stretch that right leg. It's okay if you can't stretch it this far, that's not a big deal. But do point and flex your foot, circle the ankle, wake up all the muscles in that leg. Now we're gonna climb the tree. Round your head up, climb up the tree. Maybe you can touch the sole of the foot. Maybe not, that's fine. And then climb back down. Just go where you can. Use the leg to help you up. Climb it up. Right at the sole of the foot, there's a lovely acupressure point called the bubble spring. If you can press on that, that's great. Now the right leg, stretching on the ground, pull the left leg in. Now remember, it's inhale up, exhale down. Inhale up, exhale down. away from the midline, then pull it in. Keeping the knee pointing towards the ceiling. Flex and point that leg. Circle the ankle. Climb the tree. And again, doesn't matter how far you go. Just picture the tree and use your arms, use your spine to climb up that tree. To hands and knees now. We're going to do a hovering cat. We just lift the knees off the floor. Notice how the spine still stays straight like a table. Lift the knees up, lower them down. Pull your belly towards your spine. Think of sandwiching your spine with your arms and legs. Hold that position. Work the whole body. The arms, the legs, the core. Everything is working while we hover the knees. And now we'll reach one leg at a time back. Picture the knees making a right angle as it hovers on the floor. Stretching one leg at a time and roll back. This is a toe stretch here. If this is too much on your knees, you can put a little pad under your knees if you want. On we go to thigh stretch. Keep a straight line from the knees to the top of the head. Close the front of the body from the pubic bone to the breastbone. Keep the body nice and straight to avoid a back bend. Hinge back, hold it, and then come back up. Back to the hands and knees again, and now step out to a plank position. We're going to crouch back, then pounce forward. Crouch, pounce. Look for a springiness in your legs. Find the force to push forward back to your hands. Down to your knees and lower yourself down to the floor. We're going to turn over onto the side now. Open and close the top knee. Keep your top hip directly over your bottom hip. Imagine there's a dowel running through, holding you nice and steady. Now we open and close like a book. The whole top leg opens and closes. Now the knee dips down, then the toes dip down. Knees, toes, knees, toes. The legs are relatively at a right angle at both the hip and the knee. Knees, toes, knees. Now straighten that leg out. Inhale forward, exhale back. The leg stays at about hip height all the way through. Circles, keeping the leg around hip height. Make nice smooth circles. Bring the top foot forward now, hold on to that. Now the bottom leg is going to go up and down. This leg is in line with your spine, so make sure it's not out in front of you here while you do this. To transition between sides, we're going to do a little frog, or sometimes this is called grasshopper. Think of making footprints on the ceiling. The knees and toes are open like a V. And now we head on over to the other side. Starting with our clam, opening and closing the knee with the feet together. The whole leg opens and closes like a book. Notice how the pelvis still is completely stable. We're not rocking back and forward as we do these. Dipping the knee down and then the toes. Working the rotators of your hip. Straighten the leg, and on we go to our kicks. Inhale to the front, exhale to the back. Stretching the leg, really work the back of that leg from the glutes all the way down the leg as you stretch it to the back, and feel your abdominals working as you kick to the front. On to our circles now. Circling both directions. You should feel it. You should be feeling these by now. I'd say your legs should feel like you've been working them. The bottom leg now goes up and down. And you can do some circles there as well. I think I skipped them in the video, but you can do some circles if you want. Now we're going to do some circles on the forearms here. Circling your leg around. The knee is staying bent. See how my knee stays at a right angle? And now we go out to the side, back, and down. Now the tough part about this, folks, is don't lean into the opposite side. Stay right in the center. Keep the weight even. Don't see how I demonstrated that for you? Don't lean to the side. Keep your arms in the center. Keep weight in both forearms. And circle the hip joint. Now we'll go out to the side and across the back. Turn your head side to side with that. There's a little bit of reciprocal motion through your spine. Now we're going to come up to the side here. So I'm going to turn to the front in this video so you can see me. You tip yourself over, and we lift that leg up and down. Now try to open the hip of that bottom leg. Now bring your hands to the floor in front of you. And then we come down to the forearms and we go over to the other side. So you lift the leg up, we go out to the side, and then we're going to go back and forth. So you don't have to turn yourself. I just turned in the video so you can see what I'm doing. You can just stay in one position on your mat. Come up, straighten up through the whole body, tip yourself over, and do the leg here. Come back down, and we're back to the forearms and knees. Straighten your legs up. Tuck your head in a bit. Pull your belly up. Lower and lift your heels. When you lower the heels, really actively pull your belly up. So this isn't just a leg exercise, it's an abdominal exercise. Now we roll up, and that, my friends, is the end.